When you step into the gym for the first time, you may think fighting is about power, speed, or fame. But the truth is, none of that will matter if you are not disciplined. Discipline is what separates a fighter from a dreamer. It's what wakes you up when the alarm goes off at dawn, what pushes you to train when your body says no, and what keeps you humble when everyone around you is shouting your name. Talent can take you to the door, but discipline keeps you inside. Without it, even the most gifted fighter will fall apart when the pressure comes. You must understand, fighting is not only what happens under the lights. The real battle happens in the quiet, when no one is watching, when it's just you and your thoughts, your pain, your purpose. Every session, every round, every repetition is a conversation between you and your future. You are either building the person you want to become or destroying him with excuses. The young generation often looks at success and forgets the sacrifice that built it. They see victory, but not the 1,000 days of struggle behind it. If you want to become great, learn to love the struggle, because that's where champions are made. Respect must live at the heart of your journey. Respect your coaches who shape you. Respect your teammates who push you. Respect your opponents who bring out your best. When you enter the cage, you're not fighting a man. You're fighting your own ego. Learn to control it. The best fighters are not those who destroy everything in front of them. They are the ones who master what's inside of them. Never forget your parents, your teachers, or the people who guided you when you had nothing. One day, you will be in their position, and how you honor them will show what kind of person you truly are. Don't let fame blind you. The lights, the cheers, the cameras, they all disappear. What remains is who you are when everything goes quiet. If your purpose is only to be famous, you'll lose yourself when that fame fades. But if your purpose is built on faith, on discipline, on meaning, you will never lose. A true fighter does not fight for attention. He fights to become better, to serve something beyond himself. Keep your heart clean. Keep your intentions pure. When you remember where you came from, you will never be lost, no matter how high you rise. And one day when your gloves hang on the wall and the roar of the crowd becomes a memory, ask yourself, what did I leave behind? Did I just win fights? Or did I inspire others to be stronger, more disciplined, more faithful? The belt will gather dust. The trophies will fade. But your legacy will live in the ones who watched you, learned from you, and carried your example forward. A fighter's true victory is not in how many people he defeated, but in how many people he lifted up through his journey. So, to the next generation of fighters, train hard. Stay humble, keep your faith, and never forget that the greatest fight is not against another person, but against your own weaknesses. Win that fight every day, and you will be a champion long before you ever step into the cage. People love to talk about talent. They say some are born for this, born strong, fast, powerful. But talent alone is not enough. Talent is a gift, but discipline is the weapon that turns that gift into greatness. You can have all the natural ability in the world, but if you don't show up every single day with focus and consistency, that talent will mean nothing. The truth is, the world is full of talented people who never reach their potential because they lack discipline. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up before the sun, training when your body hurts, eating clean when everyone else is relaxing, and saying no to distractions that promise comfort but steal your progress. Discipline is the voice that tells you to keep going when your mind starts making excuses. It's not about feeling motivated. It's about being committed. Motivation fades, but discipline endures. When you train, discipline is the difference between quitting at round 4 and pushing through to round 5. It's what makes you repeat the same move 1,000 times until it becomes second nature. Many fighters think discipline is just about hard work, but it's more than that. It's about respect. Respect for your craft, your coaches, your team, and most importantly, for yourself. A disciplined fighter doesn't cut corners, doesn't look for shortcuts, and doesn't depend on luck. He knows that consistency builds confidence, and confidence wins fights. There will be days when you don't see progress, days when it feels like you're standing still, but that's where discipline truly matters. Every drop of sweat, every moment of silence, every time you choose effort over ease, you are growing, even when you can't see it. Discipline is a slow, quiet process that turns ordinary people into champions. It's not glamorous, it's not loud, but when the moment comes to fight, it's discipline that stands beside you, not talent. So never rely on what you were born with. Build yourself through effort, sacrifice, and focus. Because the fighter who is disciplined will always outlast the one who is just talented. Talent fades when pressure rises, but discipline never breaks. Respecting the journey means understanding that becoming great isn't only about what happens inside the cage. It's about who you become outside of it. Every fighter starts somewhere, but not everyone remembers the steps that brought them to the top. You must never forget that this path is built on years of patience, humility, and growth. The journey teaches you more than any victory ever will. It humbles you, tests you, and shows you your true character when things don't go your way. When you train, you're not just building muscles or technique. You're building discipline, gratitude, and respect. You learn to listen to your coaches, to trust your teammates, and to appreciate the people who correct you when you make mistakes. Some young fighters want to skip the process. They want quick success, fast fame, instant recognition. But the truth is, every shortcut will cost you later. The journey is designed to prepare you, to mold you, to teach you lessons that only time and experience can give. Respect also means honoring the people around you. Your parents who supported you when you had nothing. You coaches who pushed you beyond your limits. And your opponents who helped reveal your weaknesses. Every opponent, win or lose, is a teacher. They show you what needs to be improved and remind you that there's always someone working harder. When you respect them, you grow. When you see them as enemies, you stop learning. Fighting is not about hatred. It's about testing yourself and finding your truth in the struggle. You must also respect the moments of failure. When you lose, don't complain. Don't make excuses. Accept it, learn from it, and come back stronger. The greatest lessons are hidden in defeat. The journey will break your pride many times, but that's necessary, because pride blinds you from growth. The real fighters are not the ones who win every time. They're the ones who keep showing up no matter how many times they fall. In this path, every small step counts. Every early morning, every long run, every round when you feel exhausted. These are the pieces of the story that define you. Don't rush it. Respect it. Because one day, when you look back, you'll realize it wasn't just about the destination. It was about the person you became along the way. There comes a time in every fighter's life when he has to ask himself, why am I doing this? If your reason is just fame, applause, or money, you will eventually lose your way. Fame is loud but empty. It can make you forget who you are and why you started. When the crowd cheers your name, it feels good for a moment. But when the lights go off and the noise fades, what will be left? If you don't have faith and purpose guiding you, the silence will feel heavier than any loss. Faith keeps a fighter grounded. It reminds you that everything you achieve is not only because of your strength, but because of grace. It keeps your heart humble when you win and steady when you lose. Faith gives meaning to pain. When you train hard, when you sacrifice your comfort, when you fall and rise again, faith tells you it's not for nothing. It connects you to something bigger than yourself, something unshakable. A fighter who believes only in himself can fall, but a fighter who believes with faith cannot be broken. Purpose gives direction to that faith. Every fight, every round, every sacrifice must have meaning. You're not just fighting for belts or headlines. You're fighting for your name, your family, your beliefs, your values. Purpose gives your journey power. It turns pain into progress and struggle into strength. Without purpose, even success feels empty. You can have all the attention in the world and still feel lost if you don't know why you're fighting. There's nothing wrong with success or recognition. They come as a result of your hard work, but never let them become your reason. Stay close to your principles, no matter how big your name gets. Remember the same people who stood beside you when no one cared. Remember the times when you fought only for love of the sport, for growth, for honor. That purity, that's your real foundation. The world will try to pull you in many directions. It will offer you fame, money, and distraction. But keep your eyes on what matters most: your faith, your purpose, your integrity. When you live and fight for something greater than yourself, no loss can break you, and no victory can change you. That's how a fighter stays undefeated in the battles that truly count. One day, every fighter has to walk away. The gloves come off, the lights go dark, and the noise fades into silence. What remains is not your record or your highlight reel. It's your legacy. Records are numbers. Legacies are stories. Numbers can be broken, but the impact you leave on people lasts far longer on any win streak. The true measure of a fighter is not how many opponents he defeated, but how many hearts he inspired, how many lives he touched, and how many people he made believe in something greater. When you fight only for yourself, your victories die with you. But when you fight with honor, discipline, and purpose, your name becomes a lesson for those who follow. The next generation will look at your journey, not because you were perfect, but because you showed them what it means to stay true when the world changes around you. You showed them how to carry themselves with respect in victory and humility in defeat. That is the legacy that no one can take away. Every decision you make builds your legacy. How you treat your opponents, how you train when no one is watching, how you handle success, and how you respond to failure. You are teaching others, even when you don't realize it. Young fighters are watching how you speak, how you behave, how you live. If they see pride, they'll copy pride. If they see humility, they'll learn humility. Your legacy is being written right now, every single day, in the small moments that seem to go unnoticed. Remember, the belt will lose its shine, the fame will fade, and the cheers will stop. But the respect you earn through your character will echo far beyond your career. The greatest fighters are not remembered for what they achieved, but for what they stood for. They inspired others to dream bigger, to live cleaner, to fight with purpose, and to never forget their roots. So fight in a way that makes the world better. Speak in a way that lifts others higher. Train in a way that honors those who believe in you. Because one day, when your story is told, people won't talk only about how many fights you won. They'll talk about how you lived, how you led, and how you made them believe that greatness comes not from fame, but from faith, respect, and discipline. That's the kind of legacy that never fades. At the end of the day, being a fighter is not just about what you do in the cage. It's about who you become through the journey. Discipline builds your foundation. Respect keeps your heart rate. Faith gives you strength. And purpose gives your fight meaning. Fame will come and go, but the values you carry will define you long after the cheers stop. The real battle is never against another man. It's against your own ego, your own weakness, your own doubt. To the next generation, remember, every punch, every fall, every sacrifice is shaping you into something greater. Don't chase recognition, chase growth. Don't fight for attention, fight for truth. Stay humbled in victory, grateful in defeat, and consistent in effort. Because one day, when your time in the cage is over, your record will fade, but your example will remain. Leave behind more than wins. Leave behind discipline, respect, faith, and integrity. That is what makes a true champion. That is what lasts forever.